Hey intermediate algebra students, it's time for another lesson. Today 3-6, solving equations and formulas. And if you've been able to guess and check when solving equations up to this point, some of you are clever enough to do that. It'll be really tough to do that now in this lesson, and that's why we're going to employ all the rules we've learned about solving equations. So here we go. Notice this first example right away. We're going to try to solve for x. And the trouble is, for the first time ever now, we have two different variables, x and y. So how are we going to do that? Well, you're not going to be able to guess and check, as we've said here. Your answer will have a y in it as well. But let's see what we can do here. If I want to get x by itself, the thing that's preventing me from doing that is this 4y. So I think first of all, I am going to add 4y to each side here. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So what I have left then, after I've done that, is I still have 2x left on the left. My 4y's are gone here, but notice on the right I get 7 plus 4y. Now, can I combine those to get 11y? The answer is no, because 7 and 4y are not like terms, so I have to just leave it like that. Now, really only one more step to do here to get x by itself. I have this 2 here, so I'm just going to divide everything by 2. And so my final answer, the best I can do here, I have x on the left, and on the right I'm just going to have to write it as 7 plus 4y, all of that over 2. Kind of hard to check these as well. You just have to trust that you are going through the right process to be able to solve these equations. Another one here, see what we can do. We'll just keep getting a little tougher as we go along here. Now this one has several variables, but notice it also has an x on each side of the equation. So usually what you'd like to do here is try to get all your x's, or all the variable you're trying to solve for, on the same side. So in this case I'm going to subtract 2x from each side right away so I can get all my x's on the same side. So now I have 2x plus b. All I have left on the right side, as you can see, is c. So now I'm in pretty good shape. I do have all my x's on the left, and the only thing I really need to do now is to get rid of the b. So I'll do that by subtracting b on each side. Remember, we do that inverse operation to get rid of variables. Now on the right side I have c minus b, and yeah, you're right, the best I can do is just leave it like that, c minus b. Last step then is just to divide by 2 on each side, so my final answer is x equals c minus b over 2. Not too glamorous of an answer, but that's what it has to be based on what we're given here. Once again, a little bit tougher yet. This time we want to try to solve for a. Notice that a is kind of stuck, shall we say, on the right hand side, just in the middle of all kinds of stuff. So again, we have to undo everything else to try to get to a. Now there's a few things you could do. What I'm going to look at here right away is this n over 2. It'd be nice to get rid of that. That just kind of gunks everything up. So what I'm going to do that, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 over n. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Now what that's going to enable me to do clearly on the right side is that the n's will cancel out, the 2's will cancel out, and so what I'm going to have left then on that right side is simply a plus t. Meanwhile on the right, I can multiply 2 and s together. They're considered to both be in the numerator, and then that n has to be in the denominator like that. Now I'm in pretty good shape. Really the only thing I have to rid myself of now is this t on this side, and so I will do that now. I'm just going to subtract t from both sides, leaving with the a on the right, which I desire. And really on the left side now it's just all variables. You can't put any of that stuff together. There are no like terms. So my final answer is going to be 2s over n minus t. So even though that's a very gunky looking answer, in some ways it might be easier than solving equations with numbers because you just can't simplify it all that far. All right, next one to look at here today, gang, is again one where the x is kind of embedded in the midst of a bunch of stuff, and we got to try to get at it. So as you can see where x is right in the middle of all this whole expression, I'm going to go ahead and use that order of operations in reverse and see what I can do here. Now normally I wouldn't multiply or divide first, but remember what we have is we have these implied parentheses here. And so what I'm going to do here first is multiply both sides by 5, just like this. And what that causes me to do is the 5s will cancel out, as you can see. And so I'll have part of what I have left here is just this 3ax minus n. Meanwhile, on the right is negative 20. Now, I'm still trying to get at this x variable here. Now I can go and revert to my usual method of trying to solve. I'm going to add n to each side. So I have 3ax equals negative 20 plus n. Again, I can't do anything with that. Last thing I'm going to do is to be able to get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 3a. And so my answer, again, is not very beautiful looking, but it is my official answer, and it's the best I can do, negative 20 plus n over 3a. All right, we'll work on plenty of these in class when you get here. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.